You may have heard about CityWorks Expo. For years now, we've been bringing people together to share big ideas for better places. Expo connects innovators across the community and around the globe through an ongoing series of events, conferences, and social media. And our goal is to inspire and support people like you, the ones who have a passion for making their neighborhoods, communities, and cities better places to live, work, and play. Check us out at cityworksexpo.com to learn more. Become a part of the Expo community and share your story. You never know who you will inspire with your big ideas.
Hello. Very nice to see you all. As soon as I entered the room, I felt an amazing energy, and I think that's no coincidence. I am absolutely thrilled to be here and to be able to share with you some of the things that make my heart beat the fastest. Thank you so much for the invitation, Ed, and your wonderful team. Before I begin, I would like to try something really quick. Do you know the game rock, paper, scissors? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you do, please turn to the person next to you and play 2 out of 3. Yes, done? So who played? Who played in this room? Yeah, everyone. This is a simple game, right? It's nothing sophisticated, apparently, but I saw you laugh. I heard you laugh. I saw how you connected with one another and how you can connect better with me now. And that is just one of the amazing powers of play. And that's why play is such a wonderful channel to connect, to train, and to educate. Now, I'd like to ask you, what are you most worried about? What is it that you think should be different in the world? Is it health? Hunger? Sorry? Voter participation? Guns? Climate change? Student loan? Very important. So, some people here may be worried about violence, discrimination, corruption, poverty, hunger, health, etc. And it's okay to be worried, because we're all worried about something, as long as we do something about it. Have you ever heard of the Millennium Development Goals of UN? Now, with the new international agenda coming up, the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, they relate to every issue or most issues that we are worried about here. And so, 8 years ago, being very worried about all of these things, one friend and I thought, okay, what is the root of all of these problems? Have you ever thought about the root? Where do all these problems come from? Obesity, the violence, physical, verbal, emotional, corruption, discrimination, all apathy. Where does it come from? So we thought to contribute our grain of sand to the world, we thought the root of all these problems comes from a lack of a better citizenship, a better kind of citizens that care for one another, that think about their actions and what do they mean in their community and in the world. And so we came up with this education for sharing, which is really what we believe the most is needed for the 21st century. So this is our way to address the problem. I want to invite you all in this journey. We began in 2007 with something called Sports for Sharing, which I will talk about a little bit more today. And in these 8 years, we have created some other programs to address an education for sharing through initiatives, through science, through art. And our mission is to form better citizens through games and sports, through physical activity, where children can connect, where they can really care about what we're talking about, and where they can start seeing themselves as change makers from their local communities. So this is basically our model. We raise awareness through the games. All our games are about these global issues, the Millennium Development Goals or Sustainable Development Goals. And so children learn about these global issues, and instead of thinking of them as something abstract and very far away from us, they start seeing what they can do locally to address these problems, while they learn about civic values. Because as you were playing, I hope you weren't cheating, you were doing the fair play. I hope you were teaming up with others. You were also including diversity in your game. And so games are the most amazing platform to actually live civic values. It's not just about talking about civic values, which sounds very nice, but how do we make them alive? So once children play about these global issues and related to civic values that they choose to practice, they're inspired to act. So suddenly you have Ramoncito here in a community from Mexico called Tlacuachistlahuaca in Guerrero. Okay, it's an indigenous community, very far away from everything, and he decided that he's most worried about environment. He's always looking at trash in his community and being burned or being buried or just lying there. So he organized with his classmates after the program and decided to do a campaign. You can see that he can no longer hold one single piece of trash, another one, because he's holding like even a piece of yogurt here in his neck. So these are the kind of change makers we want to see. We train teachers. That's our systemic change. We follow up with teachers for a school year. And then we go through our whole methodology, which involves inviting families, because families also play. Sometimes we forget we like to play as adults, but we do. We invite an athlete ambassador so that children can look up to someone that has achieved an amazing goal. And then we exchange treasure boxes that every community makes, where they express what they feel proud of, who they are, where they come from, what traditions do they have. And so I wonder what the treasure box would have here at Roanoke. The treasure box that would be exchanged from Roanoke to Tlacuachistlahuaca, Guerrero. I wonder what you would like to share. Now I know you have so many beautiful things to share, but I'd still like to hear. And then we have the ambassador session, which is when children present their initiatives to the community. And a 10-year-old girl told us recently, "This is the first time in my life I feel useful." Imagine if everybody in our lives felt useful from a very young age. What kind of world do you think we would have? What does it take for us to realize that we can be valuable or useful to our communities? So that's basically our dream, to form better citizens from very young ages, through play, civic values, global challenges, activating the change maker in every one of us. Who's involved? Everyone, the whole community. Teachers, parents, children, local facilitators, the partners. And let me share with you what kind of games do we actually play. So have you ever heard of dodgeball? It's a popular game here, no, in the US. So we adapt very traditional games, like dodgeball, and we call it Doctor Dodgeball. So imagine the two teams and the ball that tags. So in our game, in Doctor Dodgeball, the ball that tags represents a disease. So what disease do you have here in Roanoke? Maybe flu? When winter starts getting here. So imagine the ball represents the flu, and when we are in the jungle, it represents the malaria, etc. It identifies with the local place that we're at. And so in each team, there is one doctor, and each doctor has a number of medicine shots. So as it happened in real life, medicine shots run out, and children need to start going to the clinic out of the game. And so in the end of the game, we make a typical circle of reflection where we will ask the doctor, so what did you feel? You're left without any medicine shots. What happened with your community? And the doctor would say, yes, I was so worried because I wanted to keep on curing my community, but I had no medicine shots left. And so we say, okay, what was this game about? And children start noticing for themselves, coming with their own conclusions on how important it is to prevent in every sense, not only to avoid the flu, but also as our emotional state of mind and so on. So it's very, very impressive how children come up with these conclusions. We have amazing examples of what has happened with our ambassadors, because they become ambassadors. So you see here Karim, a 10-year-old boy from an extremely violent setting in Mexico City, surrounded by gangs, drug dealers, all kinds of violence. And he was also the shyest kid I've ever met. After the program, he also decided that his biggest worry was about environment and how to actually do something from his community. So he started a recycling campaign where he invented his own disguise as super garbage. He's super creative. And he was also starting to teach the younger kids at his school. And the younger kids, you should have seen how they saw him. They were like a hero, which is the idea, not to everyone can become a hero in their communities. And certainly Karim is forever a superhero. So the important thing is we also measure this, all of these outcomes. We have an impact evaluation where we can see, for example, how values are increased in practice. So we see the before and after, and what happens with values as gender equality, fair play, teamwork, empathy, bless you. And it's amazing also because these values made us realize that the levels of violence in schools are reducing tremendously. So when we are better to each other, when we actually care about each other, also it's amazing how violence, which is a huge, huge thing everywhere in the world, unfortunately, starts reducing. It is possible. So I haven't told you this, but we started 8 years ago, and we started in Mexico. I love Israel, and I love the whole world. I'm from Mexico. So we started in Mexico in very different communities, in an indigenous community, in a private school in the city, in the jungle, and we saw how this really speaks to people, because it's a human language, the language of play. So we are now operating in 5 countries. We have a small chapter in Washington, D.C., still looking to grow throughout the U.S. And we're in Argentina, Guatemala, Dominican Republic, Mexico, the U.S. And so far, we have worked with over 488,000 people, including teachers, parents, and children. So the idea is, of course, to invite you to join our team, to become change makers in your community. I'm sure here in Roanoke, most of you already are, because I was telling Ed how amazing this community is I just got here today. And it's amazing, like I'm talking to, how do you say, preaching to the choir, no? Yes. So anyways, this is our vision for 2021. We want to reach, with the highest of quality, 1 million people in all the Americas. And the idea is we want to invite you to form part of our team. I want to invite you to share your ideas with me. I would love to learn from your vision. And I would like to leave you with a small, with a sample of what we do through the children's voices. So I don't know if we can play the video. Okay.
Hoy realizamos diversas actividades lúdicas con una actividad motriz con la finalidad de reforzar los valores de nuestros alumnos. Un juego limpio. Bueno, para crear ciudadanos, ¿verdad? Futuros ciudadanos en igualdad de condiciones, en equidad, respetando la diferencia de cada niño.
Entonces es bonito la actividad que tuvimos el día de ahora. ¿Por qué? Porque nos enseñaron cosas diferentes, nos enseñaron cosas realmente que tienen impacto tanto en la educación como en nuestra comunidad, como en nuestro estado, como importante a nivel global. Importante simplemente hacia nuestra persona, hacia nuestros hijos.
Si les llega a sus escuelas, que esto es maravilloso porque nos andan enseñando muchas cosas de prevenir y combatir enfermedades y muchos juegos muy divertidos.
Que Deportes para Compartir es un programa muy bueno y que estuviera muy padre que en todas las escuelas se diera esto, porque sí dejaría un país mejor, ¿verdad? Niños que se la pasaban jugando siempre a fútbol y las niñas pues básquet o algún otro deporte, nunca se juntaban. A veces los niños nos invitan a jugar fútbol o si no las niñas una reta con niños de básquet o algo así.
Está muy padre porque te enseña a compartir muchas cosas que tú no sabías antes. Sí, unas niñas nos juntan a nosotros, porque antes no, es que a los niños no hay que juntarlos porque ya hagan muy feo. Y ahora sí unas niñas sí nos juntan.
Yo siento emoción y me doy cuenta que mi hija disfruta mucho el compartir la convivencia con sus padres, en este caso conmigo, y sentirse grande y sentir que puede hacer cosas más allá de su edad. O sea, como que se sienten grandes.
Thank you very much.